Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Misery Hates Company, and today we're going to look at the dev notes from our most recent update that happened yesterday. These dev notes are not at all what I thought they were going to be. People got nerfed and buffed that I'm a little surprised by. Some I'm not so surprised, but there's one in particular that I'm very surprised that got buffed. So I hope your mains got buffed, and I hope that your mains were not hurt in a negative way. I don't think too many people actually got like got hurt from this update, but there are definitely some surprises. So if this video helps you, make sure you like the video. If you want to see more videos like it, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm bringing you Marvel Future Revolution content. Now, let's jump straight into the video. I want to show you guys the maintenance notes. So let's jump right into it. First things first with the maintenance notes. Of course, it happened yesterday, the 12th. We get a Omega supply box. Yeah, thanks, bruh. But first up, I think no one is surprised by this. Captain America needed a buff. I'll say it again. Captain America needed a buff. So let's see what they did to him. So target off, which is the untargetable is what we're calling it, will be added to some skills of Captain America. All right. That looks like spearhead, go the distance, forefront, forward, resolution, target off added while the skill is in motion. Okay. Potential. So this is actually kind of cool. They adjusted potential. There were definitely some heroes that were weaker. I didn't realize that potential would have been the reason, but looking at some of the statistics, like the percentages that these guys are getting after the change, these are pretty big. So that's no joke. I mean, especially that first one. So the strong will used to be status effect resistance 8%. Now they're going to get crit damage at 12.43. I'm assuming that's at max level, obviously. Also used to be HP recovery, which he did not need, and now he's getting 4% cooldown. I mean, that's a buff. That's a big buff. Big buff. But that's actually it. So we'll see what it does. I think they're going to be very cautious with this first round of balance adjustments. This is truly the first round of balance adjustments that we've had at all in this game. So I understand that they're being a little cautious. No surprise that Captain America was on there, but kind of surprised that that's it. Moving forward. Captain Marvel, the cooldown of some of the target off skills and specializations will be increased. The damage of these skills is increased to compensate for the slightly weakened skill effectiveness due to the increased cooldown. So this is where I start to get a little concerned. So they don't, and I understand, they don't want to nerf anyone that people have invested time, resources, and money into, and then make it just not good. But you're just adding a cooldown and increasing the damage? That's a little concerning, if you ask me. All right, so first one is Mighty Flight Lightspeed Dash, just a 15% increased damage bonus. Same with Energy Impact, Cosmic Recharge. So no downside, just a positive 15% buff. Photon Flight, cooldown is decreased by 50%. That's a pretty big nerf, but then damage is increased. So, you know, okay. I don't play Captain Marvel, so I'm curious how that'll play out. And then Photon Flight, faster, which has also got the same cooldown, 50% decrease in cooldown, and then 50% increase in damage. So I'm very curious how that plays out for Captain Marvel. Specialization changes, battle skill, photon absorption, no cooldown before, now it's a 10-second cooldown. Dodge prediction is 6-second cooldown, now it's a 10-second cooldown. Okay, interesting. Iron Man, I was actually kind of surprised at some of these. Yeah, we'll just go straight into it. So some of Iron Man's skill damage will be increased. Cooldown for some of the skills will increase, but their damage will also increase. So the biggest one here is Party Time Protocol gets a 10% damage increase. I think still only good for PvE. I mean, it does a ton of damage as is, and if you're getting a flat 10% increase, I mean, it's just going to be still good for PvE. I don't think that's something you want to use in PvP. Repulsor Charge plus 10% damage. I mean, all right. Now this one I thought was kind of weird. So Spin Blade, cooldown increased by 25%. It did get a small buff at the damage, which is 7.5. That's a very good skill as is. So I'm kind of surprised that it's getting buffed. Again, not a huge one, but a buff nonetheless. But we'll have to be cautious and watch how that plays out, especially in Dimension Duels. This is the one. This one right here. This is the guy that I was surprised was on this list at all. Spider-Man. Let me rephrase. I was hoping he would be on this list, but not for this. So Spider-Man's skill performance will be further strengthened, and some changes will be applied to his potential so agents can expect a better performance from him. Spider-Man has a stable engagement in combat through evasion, dodge rate, but it's somewhat held back in terms of attack. Oh, that's just all right. Whatever. Okay, keep going. So I won't go through all the skills. He got a ton, almost all of his skills got buffed, basically. But they did get a longer cooldown, 25%. So it's not a big one, but again, not a big buff to the damage either, 7.5%. So it is what it is. And then these last three, the skills that stack shock when the skill lands. Before, decreases attack by 25% for 7 seconds at maximum stacks, but now at after the buff, it's decreased attack by 30%, so a 5% increase, and an additional second, so 8 seconds at maximum stack. I mean, all right. I'm a fan of what they did on a lot of these with increasing the duration of these effects, because I don't think they were long enough. I don't main Spider-Man, so I don't know how this bottom half will affect Spider-Man at all. I'm really just worried that they increase the damage on a character that the majority of people can't hit. I was really expecting an adjustment at least to the dodge. The fact that this character can build a stat that requires people to build a stat to counter just him. I mean, you literally have to have at least some accuracy in your build to counteract any Spider-Man, or else you just won't hit them ever. So it's really frustrating to play against. It kind of affects the flow of the game and like the uniqueness of your character. Like if you want a PvP, you have to make sure your gear has accuracy, and it's only because of Spider-Man. Well, and Captain Marvel, but still, I mean, that's a unique problem. I mean, to give you an example, there's really no character that has a inherent buff to a certain stat that requires someone to defeat him that they also have to have a very specific stat at a certain level to be able to beat them. Spider-Man's the only one that has that uniqueness. So I'm just very surprised. I think that if anything, it was balanced where he's good at evasion, as they called it, and lacked some damage. So that way you really only got one shot by Spider-Man that was like really, really well built out. Now you're going to get one shot by the Spider-Man that you can't hit. Look, I read this and I was like, I'm going to start working on a Spider-Man, not as a main, but just to have in my back pocket, because that's a lot. Moving on. All right, so the specialization change, Spider Combat, Scorpion's Pursuit, no cooldown, now has a 10-second cooldown. Okay. Potential status effect resistance now gets crit damage. I mean, going from a status that was just worthless to flat crit damage, that's wow. Okay, fine. Storm, this one I was actually kind of interested in. So Storm is getting again how the shock stacks. So skills that stack shock when the skill lands, decrease attack. So again, it's getting that 5% buff and attack decrease, and then the 1 second longer stack. It looks like Chill also got an adjustment. So decrease movement speed and dodge rate by 36%. So a 6% increase for 1 second longer. So, okay. Again, I think a lot of this was necessary. Specialization, 75% probability to recover 60% of stamina consumed when air current skills are used. Now 50% probability to recover 50% of stamina consumed when skills are used. Oh, so well, this is interesting though. This reads as if it's any skills are used, whereas this one reads as it has to be the air current. Interesting. I think I do not know Storm's specializations well, but this seems like a really good change that now it doesn't tailor to that, and now you have a decent probability of it getting more of a machine of stamina. So that's interesting. Okay. Potential defense pierce crit damage. That's a lot of crit damage. I mean, that's a lot of crit damage for losing something that nobody likes, really. Star-Lord, my old main. We meet again. All right, let's see what they did to Star-Lord. Problem solver, rewind, explosive, rapid fire spin, target off added. Okay, so now he has an iframe. This is the one, I think, I can't remember the names, but this is, yeah, the problem solver. This is the one where you zip around, at least with the fire one. So it makes sense that it's an iframe. I'm good with that. Gravity bomb, skill range, 20% increase. Elemental cannon, flame ball, cooldown 50% decrease. That's a big one for that fire build. I like that. Battle soundtrack, noise pollution. Reduce the skill range as compared to the skill range prior to the improvement. Changed to a PvP specialization skill. Before, decreased attack for 8 seconds. Now cannot use dodge for 3 seconds. Decrease movement speed for 3 seconds upon hit. So 3 seconds is not a long time. So this doesn't feel, I mean, at first, when you first read, it's like, wow, you cannot use your dodge, but it's only for 3 seconds. I mean, you would really have to time it right. So this isn't as crazy, I think, as it would read at first glance, but I mean, it's still a buff. All right, so all of these, when the burn, so burn is getting 4% damage received. Wow, that's actually a lot. And for an additional second, that's huge. You're gonna be able to easily get through your full rotation probably now with that increased damage. So that's a pretty big buff right there for the flame build. So decrease attack 5%, 1 second. Okay, for shock, chill. This was I've seen some people run chill build, so I'm curious what they did here. 6% to the dodge rate. Okay, interesting. I think they just made flame build that much better. Potential status effect accuracy. Ooh, crit rate. That's nice. Okay, status effect accuracy, and then defense pierce. Nice to have. All right, so next up we have a Black Widow. So increased damage to sticky bomb, decreased cooldown on quick step, damage increased on it as well. Specialization, no cooldown, now a 10-second cooldown. Improvising, I don't know what it does. Quick step, I think it's an iframe, right? I feel like, I don't know. If you main Black Widow, let me know in the comments if this is an iframe. I feel like it is. I feel like that's the one where like you're dashing back and forth. Could be totally wrong. It's a good skill, so I feel like that probably hurts a lot, but you're doing more damage. And then improvising, I really don't know what it does. So the fact it's getting a 10-second cooldown probably hurts a lot since it didn't have one. So sorry, Black Widows. Honestly, like so far, that's probably like the biggest nerf to a specific character is Black Widow. And even then, I don't think it's that horrendous. I think it's pretty, considering what they could have done. I mean, they really could have done a number, but no, I think this is good. Balance. I don't think she was the one that needed the biggest nerf. But okay, she's so far the one that got the biggest nerf. Doctor Strange should have gotten a buff. Let's see what he got. Let's see. So skill, guard break will increase by 1. So it used to be lowest, now it's low. Guard break low to medium. Okay, whatever. Casting motion and speed improvements. So you cast it faster. Okay. Sacred swords. Interesting. Bladed defense, no skill effect. Now it decreased damage received by 15% for 9.5 seconds. That's a long time. 9.5 seconds. I wonder what the cooldown is on this, because that lasts a long time. Cool. Interesting. Gate of the Edge. So cooldown 15% increased, and damage is 15% increased though. Wow. Okay. So I don't know what it does, but that's very interesting. Specialization, no cooldown, now has 8-second cooldowns. I feel like this hurts people. I feel like people are going to be upset by these on all the characters. You're going for something that has no cooldown at all. You're used to just always having it up or active depending on what it is, to now having an 8-second cooldown. I mean, you're only going to have this active for probably one skill in your rotation as Doctor Strange. So that probably hurts a lot. I'm sorry for that. Potential, you lose status effect accuracy and you get crit damage. This one's odd. So they gave you cooldown, but now they're giving you crit rate. I mean, Doctor Strange is, speak up in the comments, but I feel like you would have wanted the cooldown. I feel like that's something that you would have wanted. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. So improvements, elaborate hero skill description. Basically, they're saying that they improved some of them so it's more clear. They added this line that says untargetable while the skill is in motion. I mean, it's explaining that's an iframe, which is awesome. Banish. Okay, so other fixes. This is just the kind of random notes at the end here. All right, so I'm not going to go through all these fixes. These are just like the minute ones that they're just patching in, making it part of the maintenance. So all in all, I think this is a very interesting maintenance notes for the changes that happened. Again, I think some of them make sense. Some I'm very surprised by. Like I said, the Spider-Man in particular, I'm very surprised by. I'm, if anything, now more worried about Spider-Man's in Dimension Duels than just PvP in general. So yeah, let's see how that plays out. Well, until next time, lock it in, and I will see you on the battlefield.